Hello, my name is Attar Singh, and we will be performing in the first task, which is sin gas flood. So first we're making the cookies equal 0 in order to perform this attack. Now we are going to telnet to the server. Now we'll be logging on. Now we are connected to the server via telnet. Now I'm trying to head over to my server to see what connections have been established. You should see that right soon. Yeah, here we go, nestat dash tra, and here we can see the connections. I highlighted the connection between our client and the server. As we can see, only one as it's established. Alright, now we're going to use network 76 to perform our SYN flood onto the server. So we use this command. Now we'll be sending a bunch of SYNs, and now we can see as it's running. Now we'll be heading, this is now our server, and as you can see, everything that's highlighted is all the SYN receives, and which is coming from the attacker. And now if we go, now I should be heading towards the client, hopefully. And here's the client. I exited to close our connection, and I tried to telnet again, but it's not going to be successful because of the SYN flood that has happened. Alright, now we're going to do task 2, which is TCP reset. Right now we're connecting via telnet, and eventually we'll break this, and then we'll do SSH and break that. So right now we're in Wireshark on the server side, looking at the information that has been sent, and just looking. And now we're gonna, using that information, we'll be able to input it into our skeleton code, such as IP source and sequence number. Now just ignore the stuff that was from the last task. Now we're going to shmote it in order to have proper access to to our code, and now we'll be running our attack. Now we have ran our attack, and it looks everything that is fine and has run properly. Now I have to enter a couple times to be able to refresh our telnet connection, and now it finally says that connection was closed, and I did not forcibly do this. It was forced because of the command, and it took some time, but eventually did close out. Now I'll be trying to make a connection to the server via SSH. Logging in via credentials. Alright, we have successfully logged in using SSH. Now we'll go on to the Wireshark. You do the same thing that we did for Telnet. Look at our transmission that we have sent to get all the sequence numbers and input it into our skeleton code. That way we are able to run that code and break the connection. Alright, as again, we shmode the file in order to have proper access to it. I messed up, and then I realized I fixed it. and it ran perfectly. I think I just mistyped. Now if we enter, refresh the page, we get broken pipe. Success. Alright, so for task 3, we're trying to do a TCP reset attack by disrupting a YouTube video or a streaming application. I couldn't get the gizmo to work, so I just did it on a YouTube video and it was successful, so thought this would work. So I used the network 78 tool with additional filters to help me be able to distinguish the connection between YouTube and the client. And right now, as you can see, the video is having a tough time loading because of the tag, so it's not being able to load, but like it kind of like just like preloaded a little bit, but it's not being able to load the actual video. And very soon, I believe, I think I just run the code a little more to just get in order to pop the error. Um, let's check real quick. Yeah, see, I ran the code a little more, and then eventually I clicked on a little other stuff that wasn't preloaded, and I got the error to work. And yeah, that is a successful task of a TCP reset attack. Alright, for task 4, we did a TCP session hijack where I created a secret file, as you can see on the desktop. This will be temporary. We telnet onto our server. We then log in, and then we go to Wireshark and look at the transmission between the two server and the client to be able to get that data and put into our skeleton code. Here is the skeleton code. I already input the data, sequence number, acknowledge number, and the ports. That's what you change. And then once that is done, you shmode the code to get the right privilege, and then run the code. The code ran successfully with no errors. Alright, now if we look at the client, we can see that the file is now gone. Success. Alright, so in task 5, we'll be doing a reverse shell using TCP hijack, which we just did. So now we're going to pretty much create a backdoor, which will give us some more access, and we can go back to the port. So we did ipconfig just to get our information of like our IP address, and that way we know what the IP address is, and this is all on the attacker. Now we're netcatting to port 9090, so if when anything happens on port 9090, we will see it in this terminal once I run it. Alright, so now we're listening to port 9090. Alright. Now to switch over to our client, and we're trying to connect to our server, and then once we connect to the server, we will go to Wireshark to see all the data that we need to put into our code for this attack. Alright, we have successfully connected via telnet. Now we go to Wireshark and we look at the information to input our parameters into the skeleton code, such as the ports and sequence numbers. And now if I go to the thing, I run the code and chmod it, and it has no errors. Now we go to 49090. Sadly, nothing was there. I'm not sure why this was. I think it's because it says 00, but I wasn't able to figure it out.